There is a moment that most people never reach, not because they aren't capable of reaching it, not because they haven't tried hard enough or worked long enough or wanted it with enough intensity, but because nobody ever told them what it actually feels like when your energy field stops straining and starts radiating. Nobody ever described the exact quality of that shift, the way something in you settles, like a signal finally finding its frequency, like a broadcast that was full of static suddenly going clear. And in that moment of clarity, something extraordinary happens. Everything you were trying to force begins to move on its own. That moment is real. It is measurable. It is not mystical in the sense of being beyond you. It is mystical in the sense of being so fundamentally you that most people walk right past it their entire lives without recognizing it. And today, that changes. Because today, I am going to show you exactly what happens when your aura locks into a specific frequency. A frequency that reorganizes reality around it. Not metaphorically, not as a motivational concept. At the level of quantum mechanics, at the level of electromagnetic field coherence, at the level of what your heart and nervous system are actually broadcasting to the quantum field every single second of your life. You have been radiating your whole life. Most of it you never chose. Your energy field, the measurable electromagnetic signature that extends several feet beyond your body in every direction, has been broadcasting a signal since the moment you were born. That signal has been shaping what reaches you and what doesn't. It has been determining what reality assembles around you. And for most of your life, that broadcast has been running on autopilot, carrying patterns of effort and strain and quiet desperation that you inherited without knowing it, that you absorbed from a world that told you the way to get what you want is to push harder, want more intensely, try with greater force. But here is what the quantum field knows that the straining mind doesn't. Coherence is more powerful than intensity. Radiance is more powerful than effort. A clear signal reaches further and assembles more than a loud, distorted one ever could. And the moment your aura locks into coherent radiance, the moment your energy field stops broadcasting the frequency of straining and starts broadcasting the frequency of luminous certainty, your entire reality reorganizes around that new signal. I want you to feel something right now before we go any further. Bring your attention to the space just beyond your skin, not inside your body, just outside it, a few inches beyond your hands, beyond your shoulders, beyond the crown of your head. There is something there, a field, a warmth, a quality of presence that is distinctly, unmistakably you. You might feel it as a subtle tingling. You might notice it as a kind of aliveness at the edges of your physical form. You might simply sense that you extend further than your body ends. That is your aura, and it is doing something right now. It is broadcasting something right now. And by the end of what I'm about to share with you, you will understand exactly what it's broadcasting, exactly how to bring it into the frequency that reorganizes reality, and exactly what that reorganization looks and feels like when it begins. Your light is on. It has always been on. Today, you learn to direct it. Let's start with what your aura actually is, because the word gets used in ways that sometimes make it feel like a concept you have to take on faith. You don't. The electromagnetic field generated by your heart and nervous system is one of the most well-documented phenomena in biophysics. The HeartMath Institute, based in California, has spent decades measuring this field with precision instruments, and what they have found is extraordinary in its implications. Your heart generates an electromagnetic field that is approximately 5,000 times stronger in magnetic intensity than the field generated by your brain. 5,000 times. That field extends measurably in every direction from your body, not inches, but feet. In some individuals in states of high coherence, this field has been detected at distances of up to 8 to 10 feet from the physical body. And this field is not static. It is not a fixed halo sitting passively around you. It is a dynamic, constantly changing broadcast that carries information about your actual internal state, your emotional frequency, your nervous system's coherence level, the quality of your inner landscape, and transmits that information into the space around you. When HeartMath researchers speak of cardiac coherence, they are describing a specific state of this field. They are describing the difference between a heart rhythm that is erratic and jagged, spiking and dropping in response to stress, fear, anxiety, the low hum of chronic striving, and a heart rhythm that moves in smooth, ordered sine wave patterns. The difference between these two states is not just measurable in terms of heart rate variability. It is measurable in terms of what that electromagnetic field broadcasts into the environment. An incoherent field broadcasts noise. disruption, static. The quantum field reads it and assembles around it accordingly. More disruption, more static, more situations that require the same anxious striving that created the incoherence in the first place. A coherent field broadcasts clarity, order, luminous certainty, and the quantum field reads that signal and assembles around it accordingly. Situations that match the frequency of clarity, people who resonate with that quality of light, opportunities that seem to arrive without force because they are simply responding to the signal your field is already transmitting. This is not a metaphor. This is field mechanics. This is what your aura is doing right now, whether you are aware of it or not. And here is the part that changes everything. The moment you become conscious of your signal, the moment you stop radiating by default, and start radiating by design, the power of your broadcast increases in ways that cannot be explained by simple addition. A conscious field is not twice as powerful as an unconscious one. It is not 10 times as powerful. It operates on a different order of magnitude entirely, because consciousness itself is a coherence amplifier. When you know you are radiating, when you can feel your field and direct your attention into it with intention, you are doing something that your autopilot broadcast never could. You are creating a feedback loop between your awareness and your electromagnetic output. You are, in the most literal quantum mechanical sense, collapsing probability waves around a specific frequency. You are not hoping reality will change. You are broadcasting the signal that reality must respond to, because that is how the quantum field works. It is not selective. It is not judgmental. It does not decide who deserves what. It simply reads the signal and assembles accordingly. Your aura knows. And now, so do you. If this is landing for you, if you can feel even a flicker of that field right now, take a moment to like this video and subscribe so we can keep going deeper together. But let's go deeper, because understanding that your aura is an electromagnetic field is one layer. Understanding what determines the frequency of that field, what tunes it to coherence or disrupts it into static, that is where the real power lives. There is a state that physicists discovered when they pushed matter to its absolute limit. When you cool matter down to absolute zero, the lowest temperature theoretically possible in the universe, -273 degrees Celsius, something happens that should not happen according to classical physics. according to classical understanding, at absolute zero, all molecular motion should cease. All vibration should stop. All energy should drain away into complete emptiness, total stillness, perfect void. But that is not what happens. Even at absolute zero, energy remains. A pulse, a vibration, a residue of potential that refuses to disappear, no matter how cold, how empty, how stripped down the conditions become. Werner Heisenberg, one of the architects of quantum mechanics, demonstrated mathematically why this must be so. A particle cannot simultaneously have zero energy and a precisely defined position. The uncertainty principle itself forbids the universe from ever reaching true emptiness. There will always be a residue of potential. There will always be something pulsing where logically nothing should exist. This is called zero-point energy. And it is not a fringe concept or a spiritual metaphor. It is verified, documented, foundational quantum physics. The Casimir effect, named for the Dutch physicist Hendrik Casimir, who predicted it in 1948, provides one of its most concrete demonstrations. Place two metal plates very close together in a vacuum, in a space where theoretically nothing exists, and those plates will attract each other. They will move toward each other without any visible force acting upon them. The zero-point energy fluctuations between the plates are smaller than those outside them, and that pressure difference creates a real, measurable, physical force. The void pushes things. Nothingness exerts force. The space where apparently there is nothing acts upon matter. Now feel the implications of this in your own energy field. If the void itself, the most fundamental emptiness the universe can produce, still pulses with potential, what does that say about the moments when you empty yourself? When you release the straining and the forcing and the anxious repetition and arrive at a place of inner stillness. You are not arriving at nothing. You are arriving at everything. You are touching the same field that underlies all matter, all creation, all possibility. The void is not the absence of your power. The void is where your power is most purely itself, uncontaminated by the static of effort, unmixed with the noise of fear, broadcasting at the frequency of pure potential. This is the 0 point of your aura, and it is the frequency everything reorganizes around. Most people never reach it because they have been taught that the way to create is to push, to want harder, to visualize with more intensity, to feel the emotion more powerfully, to repeat the affirmation with more conviction. And there is nothing wrong with those practices in their proper place, but they all operate within the active, straining mind, within the frequency of effort. And effort has a specific electromagnetic signature. It broadcasts incompleteness. It broadcasts the gap between where you are and where you want to be. It broadcasts at the quantum level the very lack it is trying to overcome. Your aura knows the difference between genuine radiance and performed radiance. The quantum field knows the difference between a signal that is broadcasting wholeness and a signal that is broadcasting the effort to achieve wholeness. And it responds accordingly. So, what does it actually feel like when your aura locks into the frequency that reorganizes reality? What is the quality of that state? It feels like something you stopped trying to hold up, like a tension you didn't know you were carrying, suddenly releasing. Like a breath you have been holding for years, finally, fully exhaling. It feels less like achievement and more like recognition, less like arrival and more like remembering. Because you are not building a new frequency from scratch, you are removing the interference patterns that have been disrupting the frequency that was always yours. You are not becoming radiant. You are stopping the dimming of the radiance that was never actually gone. This is the most important thing I will say to you today. So I want you to receive it fully. You don't need to create your luminosity. You need to stop obscuring it. The light was never off. You just learned over years and decades of absorbing the world's static to turn the dial down. And the moment you understand that, the moment you feel in your body that you are not reaching for something you don't have, but uncovering something you have always been, your field shifts right now, in this moment. You can feel it if you're paying attention. Feel your field right now. Notice what's radiating. That warmth you feel. That is not imagination. That is your electromagnetic signature responding to the truth of what you are. Now I want to tell you about two people. Their names are Mara and Eli. Mara had been working toward her dream for 7 years. 7 years of early mornings and late nights, of notebooks filled with goals and timelines and affirmations, of vision boards that covered an entire wall of her apartment, of podcasts and courses and practices stacked upon practices. She wanted it so badly that the wanting had become a physical sensation, a kind of permanent tightness in her chest, a low-grade urgency that followed her into sleep. She would lie awake at night, running through everything she had done that day, calculating whether it was enough, whether she had wanted it with sufficient intensity, whether the universe had received her signal clearly. And nothing moved. Or rather, things moved in ways that felt like they were mocking her. Small advances followed by setbacks, doors that opened slightly and then closed, moments of hope that collapsed back into the familiar frustration. She was doing everything right, by every measure she had been given. And the gap between where she was and where she wanted to be felt not smaller, but somehow larger, more charged, more painful with every passing month. Eli had a different problem. Eli had stopped trying altogether. Not from wisdom, from exhaustion. He had burned through the same cycle Mara was in, and come out the other side into a kind of flat resignation. He told himself he didn't care anymore, that he had made peace with where he was, that wanting things was a trap. But underneath that resignation was something Eli hadn't examined, a grief he was carrying very quietly, a sense of having been abandoned by the very process he had believed in, a low-frequency broadcast of defeat that had settled into his field like sediment. Both Mara and Eli were radiating. Both of their auras were active and broadcasting, but neither of them was broadcasting from the frequency that reorganizes reality. Mara was broadcasting from the frequency of desperate striving, a coherent signal in its own way, but coherent around incompleteness. Eli was broadcasting from the frequency of resigned defeat, quiet, flat, carrying the electromagnetic signature of a field that had folded in on itself. What neither of them understood yet was this: the frequency that reorganizes reality is not the frequency of wanting, and it is not the frequency of resignation. It is something that lives between those two states and beyond them both. It is the frequency of luminous certainty, the frequency of a field that knows, not hopes, not wishes, not desperately believes, but simply knows, the way the sun knows it is light, the way a river knows it will reach the sea. And the way to reach that frequency is not to try harder than Mara was trying, or to care less than Eli was caring. It is to do something that neither of them had been taught. It is to return to the 0 point of your own field, to arrive at the place where the straining stops and the radiance begins, to touch the void at the center of your own energy field and discover what the physicists discovered that the void is not empty. It is the most concentrated field of potential in existence. Mara found her way there by accident first. She was so exhausted one evening that she stopped. Not strategically, not as a practice. She simply ran out of the energy to keep pushing. She lay on her floor, and instead of running through her usual mental calculations, she just breathed. And in that breathing, something happened that she didn't have language for yet. The tightness in her chest, the permanent companion of her striving, began to dissolve. Not dramatically, quietly, like a knot slowly releasing. And in the space where the tightness had been, she felt something she hadn't felt in years. A warmth, a quiet aliveness, a sense of her own presence that didn't depend on whether she had done enough that day or whether the universe had responded appropriately to her efforts. She didn't know it yet, but she had just touched the 0 point of her own aura. She had just felt what her field felt like at Coherence. And in the days that followed, without her doing anything differently in the external world, things began to move. Not dramatically at first. A conversation that opened an unexpected door. A synchronicity that would have seemed like coincidence if she hadn't felt the shift in her own field first. A quality of ease that began threading itself through situations that had previously felt like walls. Eli's journey was slower because resignation is a more stubborn pattern than striving. Striving at least acknowledges that something is possible. Resignation has decided it isn't. But one afternoon, Eli sat in a park and watched the light move through the leaves of a tree. And something in that quality of light, the way it fell without effort, the way the tree didn't strain to be illuminated, the way the light simply was what it was, and everything it touched was changed by it. Something in that image cracked something open in him. He thought, what if I am like that? What if my field is like that? What if I have been trying to manufacture light when the light was never something I needed to manufacture? That question changed the frequency of his broadcast. Not because he suddenly had everything he wanted. Not because the external world immediately rearranged itself, but because the signal his aura was transmitting shifted from the flat resignation of defeat to something more open, more alipoisui, more curious. And the quantum field, which does not evaluate or judge but simply reads and responds, began assembling around that new signal. Both Mara and Eli eventually arrived at the same understanding that I want to give you now. The frequency that reorganizes reality is not a state you achieve. It is a state you uncover. It is the state your field returns to when you stop loading it with the static of striving and the weight of resignation. It is the natural frequency of a coherent human energy field. It is what your aura broadcasts when you get out of its way, and you can feel it right now, in this body, in this moment. You don't need to wait until your circumstances change. You don't need to reach some future version of yourself. The frequency is available to you in this breath, in this heartbeat, in this moment of stillness where you are simply here, simply present, simply radiating without effort. I want to pause here and ask you something, and I genuinely want you to answer in the comments. Has there been a moment in your life when you felt your aura shift, when something in you settled and the room around you seemed to respond differently, when people turned toward you with a quality of attention that surprised you, when things moved with an ease you hadn't forced? Tell me about that moment. What were you doing? What did it feel like in your body? Because naming it is a coherence practice. It calls the frequency back. Let me give you a practice now, not a technique to perform, not a method to execute correctly. A return, a way of coming back to the frequency that is already yours. Find a comfortable position. You can be sitting or lying down. What matters is that your body can release its holding. Take a breath that you don't control. Let your body breathe itself. Notice the difference between a breath you take and a breath that happens. The breath that happens carries no effort. It is the body doing what the body knows how to do without your management. Now bring your attention to your heart center, not as a concept, as a physical location, the center of your chest. And as you breathe, imagine that each inhale is not pulling air into your lungs, but drawing light into your heart. A warm, golden, coherent light. Not a light you are manufacturing, a light you are simply allowing to fill the space that is already there. As you breathe this light into your heart center, notice what happens to the space just beyond your skin. Notice whether you can feel your field beginning to expand, whether the edges of your electromagnetic signature feel more alive, more present, more luminous. You are not creating this expansion. You are simply removing your resistance to it. The field wants to expand. Radiance is its natural state. You are just getting out of the way. Now, with your field expanded and your heart breathing light, I want you to introduce a single quality into that field. Not a desire, not a goal, not a visualization of something you want. A quality. The quality of knowing. The quiet, settled, unforced knowing that what is meant for you is already moving toward you through the quantum field. That the signal your aura is broadcasting right now, this coherent, luminous, open signal, is already being read, already being responded to, already reorganizing the probability field around you in ways you cannot yet see, but can absolutely feel. Stay here for a moment. Don't rush through this. The quantum field doesn't respond to speed. It responds to coherence. And coherence requires a quality of stillness that the rushing mind never touches. Feel your field right now. Notice what's radiating. That is the frequency. That is the signal that reorganizes reality. Not the straining, not the forcing, not the desperate intensity of wanting. This quality of luminous, settled, open knowing. This is what your aura broadcasts when it is at its most powerful. And this is the broadcast that the quantum field cannot ignore. Your light is on. It has always been on. Now you are beginning to feel it consciously. Now let me show you something deeper about your field. Because the 0 point we just touched, that place of inner stillness where your aura broadcasts at its most coherent frequency, has a specific neurological correlate. And understanding it will give you a precision in working with your own energy field that most people never develop. When your brain transitions from the active, analytical state of beta brainwaves into the slower, more receptive states of alpha and theta, something remarkable happens to the coherence of your electromagnetic field. The noise decreases. The static of the thinking mind, the constant commentary, the evaluation, the planning, the worrying begins to quiet. And as it quiets, the heart's electromagnetic signal becomes dominant. The field your heart generates becomes the primary broadcast of your energy system, rather than being drowned out by the electromagnetic noise of an overactive thinking brain. This is the neurological basis of what the Zen tradition calls mushin, mind without mind. The state that Eckhart Tolle describes as presence. The state that Neville Goddard called the state akin to sleep. These are not different things described in different languages. They are all pointing to the same neurological and electromagnetic reality, the state in which the thinking mind quiets enough for the heart's coherent field to become the dominant signal. And here is what is extraordinary about this state. In the hypnagogic transition, that threshold between waking and sleeping that Goddard worked with so precisely, the brain produces theta waves at approximately 4 to 8 cycles per second. At this frequency, the critical faculty of the mind, the part that evaluates and judges and says, "That's not real," and "That hasn't happened yet," becomes temporarily suspended. The boundary between imagination and reality, as far as the nervous system is concerned, becomes permeable. In this state, what you hold in your awareness, what you allow to fill your field, carries an extraordinary weight. Not because you are bypassing reality, but because you are accessing the layer of reality that underlies the physical, the quantum layer, the layer where probability fields are still open, where the signal your aura broadcasts has its most direct relationship to what will subsequently manifest in the material world. This is not mysticism. This is the interface between quantum mechanics and neuroscience. And your aura is the instrument through which this interface operates. Think about what this means for how you work with your own energy field. The moments of stillness, the moments between sleeping and waking, the moments of deep meditation, the moments when you are so present that the thinking mind goes quiet. These are not passive moments. They are the moments when your aura's broadcast is clearest, when the signal is least contaminated by mental static, when what you radiate has the most direct relationship to what reality assembles around you. The HeartMath Institute's research on cardiac coherence aligns precisely with this understanding. When the heart is in coherence, when its rhythm is smooth and ordered rather than erratic and stress-driven, the electromagnetic field it generates is not just stronger, it is more ordered. It carries information more clearly. It broadcasts a signal that the quantum field can read with precision. And the state that most reliably produces cardiac coherence is not intense effort or focused visualization. It is the quality of positive emotional states held with a kind of quiet certainty, appreciation, care, the warm, settled sense of being exactly where you are supposed to be. This is why the frequency that reorganizes reality doesn't feel like pushing. It feels like coming home, because it is your energy field coming home to its natural coherent state and broadcasting from that state with a clarity and power that straining never produced. Now let me show you the other side of this. Because understanding what locks your aura into the reorganizing frequency also requires understanding what disrupts it, what creates the static, what turns your broadcast from coherent radiance into the electromagnetic equivalent of a radio station that can't quite find its signal. There are 3 primary disruptors of aura coherence, and they are worth knowing precisely because they are so common, so culturally endorsed, that most people never identify them as the source of their field's disruption. The first is chronic future orientation, the state of living primarily in a mental projection of what hasn't happened yet, worrying about it, planning for it, desperately wanting it to be different from what is. When your consciousness is primarily located in an imagined future, your electromagnetic field is broadcasting from a split state. Part of your signal is in the present moment where your body actually is. Part of your signal is in a mental construction that doesn't exist yet. This creates a fragmented broadcast, not coherent, not clear, not organized around a single frequency. The quantum field reads fragmentation and assembles more of it. The second disruptor is what I will call the frequency of effortful wanting. This is subtler and more insidious than simple worry because it feels virtuous. It feels like you are doing the work. It feels like you are taking your manifestation seriously. But the electromagnetic signature of effortful wanting is the signature of incompleteness. Every time you focus intensely on what you want with the underlying feeling of not having it yet, you are broadcasting the not having. You are sending the quantum field a signal that says, "This is my frequency." The frequency of someone who is reaching for something they don't have. And the quantum field, which does not judge, simply assembles more reaching, more almost having, more of the gap between where you are and where you want to be. The third disruptor is the one that Eli was living in, the low-frequency hum of resigned defeat. The "I've tried this before and it didn't work" pattern. The "maybe this isn't for me" pattern. The quiet withdrawal of belief that masquerades as maturity or realism. This is perhaps the most damaging disruptor of aura coherence because it is so quiet. It doesn't feel like interference. It feels like acceptance. But acceptance and resignation are electromagnetically very different states. Acceptance broadcasts openness. Resignation broadcasts closure. And a closed field cannot receive what the quantum field is trying to deliver. All three of these disruptors share a common root. They all represent the aura broadcasting from a frequency other than the present moment, other than the 0 point of coherent, luminous nowness. And the remedy for all three is the same. It is the return to the present moment, to the 0 point of your own field, to the frequency of coherent radiance that is your aura's natural state when you stop loading it with the static of past and future. This is what I mean when I say you don't need to build radiance. You need to stop dimming it. The radiance is there. It has always been there. It is the natural output of a coherent human energy field. Every time you return to the present moment, every time you drop the straining and the resignation and the fragmented future focus, every time you simply breathe and feel your field and allow it to broadcast from its natural frequency, you are uncovering what was always there. Your light is on. It has always been on. And I want to ask you something else in the comments, something I genuinely want to hear. Have you ever walked into a room and felt your energy change the atmosphere? Have you ever noticed someone's face soften when you arrived, or a conversation shift in tone, or an opportunity appear that seemed to come from nowhere? That was your field. That was your aura at Coherence, doing what coherent fields do. Tell me about a moment when you felt your light affecting the space around you. I want to know, because your story is someone else's reminder that this is real. Let me tell you about the moment when Mara's aura locked into the frequency that reorganized her reality. Not the accidental moment on the floor when she first touched it. The moment when she chose it consciously, deliberately, with full understanding of what she was doing. She had been working with her field for several weeks by then. She had developed a morning practice of returning to the 0 point, lying in that hypnagogic threshold between sleeping and waking, letting the thinking mind stay quiet, breathing light into her heart center, feeling her field expand. She was getting better at recognizing the difference between the frequency of straining and the frequency of coherent radiance. She was learning to feel the difference in her body, the tightness that accompanied effort, the warmth and openness that accompanied genuine field coherence. One morning, she woke, and instead of immediately reaching for her phone or running through her mental list of what needed to happen that day, she stayed in that threshold. She felt her field. She noticed its quality. And then she did something she hadn't done before. She brought into her awareness not a desire, not a goal, not a visualization of something she wanted. She brought in a feeling, the feeling of her life as she wanted it to be. Not the details, not the specific outcomes. The feeling, the quality of aliveness and ease and luminous certainty that she associated with a life fully lived from her authentic frequency. She held that feeling in her field, not with effort, not with the desperate grip of wanting, with the open hands of someone who already knows. And as she held it, she felt something in her electromagnetic field shift in a way that was unmistakable. A kind of click, a settling, like a tuning fork that finally found its resonant frequency and began to vibrate in perfect sympathy with it. She didn't know it yet, but she had just locked her aura into the frequency that reorganizes reality. The changes that followed were not dramatic in the way she had imagined they would be when she was in the straining phase. They were not sudden or miraculous in the Hollywood sense. They were something better. They were coherent. They were ordered. They arrived with a quality of rightness, of inevitability, of course, as if the quantum field had simply been waiting for her signal to become clear enough to respond to. One door opened and led to another. One conversation contained an introduction that contained an opportunity that contained the beginning of a life that felt, at every step, like it was assembling itself around her rather than being forced into existence by her effort. This is what the frequency that reorganizes reality actually looks like in practice. Not a single dramatic moment of manifestation, a coherent unfolding, a reality that begins to move with you rather than against you, because your signal and the quantum field's response are finally in alignment. And the key, the thing that made it possible, was not more effort, or more technique, or more intensity of wanting. It was the moment she stopped broadcasting from the frequency of straining and started broadcasting from the frequency of luminous certainty. The moment her aura locked in. You can feel that frequency right now. It is available to you in this moment, not as a future achievement, as a present reality, as the natural state of your energy field when you give it permission to return to coherence. Feel your field right now. Notice what's radiating. There is something I want to address directly because I know it is in your mind. You might be thinking, this sounds beautiful, but what about the real work? What about the actions, the plans, the concrete steps that have to happen in the physical world? Am I supposed to just sit in a field of coherent radiance and wait for reality to rearrange itself? And the answer is no. Absolutely not. But the question reveals something important about how we have been taught to think about the relationship between our energy field and our physical actions. We have been taught to think of these as separate things: the inner work and the outer work, the energy and the effort, the frequency and the action, as if they operate in parallel, each in its own lane, each contributing separately to the outcome. But that is not how your aura works. Your electromagnetic field does not stop when you start acting. It does not pause during your workday and resume during your meditation. It is broadcasting continuously, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, shaping what reaches you and what doesn't, determining the quality of the opportunities that appear, influencing the receptivity of the people you encounter, setting the tone of every interaction and every circumstance that assembles around you. The question is not whether to act. The question is from what frequency you act. Because action taken from the frequency of straining broadcasts straining. Action taken from the frequency of coherent radiance broadcasts coherent radiance, and the quantum field responds to the broadcast, not just the action. Think about the difference between two people doing exactly the same thing, making the same phone call, attending the same meeting, sending the same email. One of them is doing it from a field that is broadcasting urgency and incompleteness and the desperate energy of someone who needs this to work. The other is doing it from a field that is broadcasting the warm, settled, luminous certainty of someone who knows that what they are doing is already in alignment with what is unfolding for them. The actions are identical. The electromagnetic broadcasts are completely different, and the outcomes will reflect that difference in ways that look, from the outside, like luck, or timing, or mysterious favor, but are in fact simply the quantum field responding to two different signals. This is why working with your aura, becoming conscious of your broadcast, learning to lock into the coherent frequency, does not replace action. It transforms action. It makes every step you take a step taken from your most powerful signal. It means that the work you do carries the frequency of your field, and your field at Coherence is the most powerful creative instrument you possess. Your aura knows, and and now, so do you. Let me show you another layer of your energy field's mechanics. Because there is something about the relationship between your aura and other people's fields that is worth understanding precisely, because it explains so much about your life that may have seemed random or mysterious. Your electromagnetic field does not stop at the edge of your personal space. It extends into the fields of the people around you, and their fields extend into yours. This is not a spiritual concept. It is basic electromagnetic physics. Fields interact. They influence each other. They create interference patterns when they are out of phase, and resonance amplification when they are in phase. When two people in high cardiac coherence are in close proximity, their heart rhythms begin to entrain with each other. The HeartMath Institute has documented this phenomenon, the measurable synchronization of heart rhythms between individuals who are in a shared state of coherence. This is the physics of why certain people make you feel more alive, more yourself, more energized. Their field is in resonance with yours. The interaction amplifies rather than depletes. And conversely, this is the physics of why certain environments or certain interactions leave you feeling drained, contracted, less luminous. It is not purely psychological. It is electromagnetic. Fields that are broadcasting at incoherent frequencies create interference with your coherent field. They introduce static into your signal. And if you are not conscious of your field, if you are radiating by default rather than by design, you are vulnerable to that interference in ways that a conscious radiator is not. Because here is what changes when your aura locks into the coherent frequency. When your field is broadcasting from the 0 point, from the luminous certainty of your most coherent state, it becomes what physicists would call a dominant field. Not dominant in the sense of aggressive or overpowering, dominant in the sense of ordered, in the sense of having a clarity and strength of signal that naturally influences the fields it encounters rather than being influenced by them. This is the protective function of your aura. Not a shield, not a wall, not a defense mechanism. A radiance. When you are broadcasting from your most coherent frequency, the dissonant frequencies that encounter your field tend to be entrained toward coherence rather than entraining your field toward dissonance. You become the tuning fork that others' fields want to match. You become the signal that the quantum field assembles around, rather than the signal that gets lost in the noise of other people's broadcasts. This is why the most luminous people you have ever encountered seemed to carry their own atmosphere with them, seemed to bring a quality of calm and aliveness into whatever room they entered, seemed to make things easier simply by being present. That is not charisma. That is not personality. That is a coherent electromagnetic field operating at high radiance. That is what happens when a human aura locks into its most powerful frequency and broadcasts from that frequency consistently. And that is what is available to you, not as a distant aspiration, as a present reality, as the natural output of your energy field when you stop dimming it. You have felt this yourself. There have been moments in your life, perhaps rare, perhaps more frequent than you realize, when you walked into a room and something shifted, when people turned toward you with a quality of attention that felt different, when conversations opened in ways that surprised you, when things fell into place with an ease that seemed disproportionate to what you had done. Those were not accidents. Those were moments when your aura was broadcasting at high coherence, when your field was locked into the frequency that reorganizes reality, and you were doing it unconsciously, which means you can learn to do it consciously, which means you can do it consistently, which means the reality that assembles around you can reflect that frequency, not occasionally, but as your baseline. This is the shift I am pointing you toward. Not a single moment of manifestation, a new baseline frequency, new default broadcast, a life that is organized from the ground up around the coherent radiance of your most powerful signal. And the way you build that new baseline is through practice, not the practice of straining harder or wanting more intensely, the practice of returning again and again to the 0 point of your own field, to the place of inner stillness where your heart's coherent broadcast becomes dominant, to the frequency of luminous certainty that is your aura's natural state. Every time you return, the path back becomes shorter. Every time you feel your field at coherence, the electromagnetic memory of that state deepens in your nervous system. Every time you choose the frequency of radiant knowing over the frequency of anxious straining, you are literally rewiring the neural pathways that generate your default broadcast. You are building, through repetition, a new energetic baseline, a new normal for your aura. And as that baseline shifts, reality shifts with it. Not because you forced it to, because you changed the signal. Because the quantum field is always only responding to what you broadcast. And when what you broadcast changes at the level of your fundamental frequency, everything that the quantum field assembles around that frequency changes with it. What you radiate, reality assembles around. This is not a slogan. This is the operating principle of your personal energy field. And it is the most important thing you can understand about how your life works. Now, I want to give you a more complete practice, a way of working with your aura that integrates everything we have explored: the 0 point, the coherent field, the frequency of luminous certainty, the hypnagogic threshold, the heart's electromagnetic broadcast, a practice you can return to every day that will, over time, establish the coherent frequency as your new baseline. The best time for this practice is in the transition between sleeping and waking, either as you are drifting toward sleep in the evening or in those first moments of waking in the morning, before the thinking mind fully activates, before the day's agenda floods in, before the habitual broadcast reasserts itself. In that threshold state, that hypnagogic or hypnopompic space, your field is most receptive to conscious direction. The critical faculty is quiet. The heart signal is dominant. The quantum field is most directly accessible. Begin by feeling your body, not analyzing it, not evaluating it, simply feeling it. The weight of it, the warmth of it, the aliveness of it. Let your attention rest in physical sensation for a moment, because physical sensation is always in the present moment. You cannot feel your body in the past or the future. Feeling your body is the fastest path to the present. And the present is where your aura broadcasts most clearly. As you settle into physical presence, bring your attention to your heart center and begin to breathe with a quality of intention, not forcing the breath, not controlling it, but allowing each inhale to carry a quality of warmth and each exhale to carry a quality of release. Inhale warmth. Exhale whatever is not yours. Inhale luminosity. Exhale the static. After several breaths, when you can feel a quality of warmth and openness in your heart center, expand your attention to include the space beyond your skin, your field, your aura, the electromagnetic signature that extends several feet in every direction from your physical body. You don't need to visualize this. You can feel it. It has a texture, a temperature, a quality of aliveness that is distinctly you. Now, with your field present and your heart warm and open, introduce the frequency of luminous certainty. Not a thought, not a visualization, a feeling. The feeling of a life that is fully alive, fully in alignment with your deepest nature, fully organized around the frequency of who you actually are, not the details of that life, the feeling, the quality of it, the warmth and ease and luminous aliveness of it. Hold this feeling in your field with open hands, not gripping it, not desperately clutching it as if it might escape, simply allowing it to be present in your electromagnetic broadcast, simply letting your aura carry this frequency as its signal. And then, this is the part that changes everything. Let go of the outcome, not resignedly, not with the flat affect of someone who has given up, with the open, trusting release of someone who has planted a seed and knows with absolute certainty that the ground will do what the ground does. You have broadcast the signal. The quantum field has received it. The rest is not your job. The rest is the field's response. And the field's response is already in motion. Stay in this state for as long as it feels natural. 5 minutes, 20 minutes. There is no correct duration. What matters is the quality of the state, not the length of it. A single minute of genuine field coherence is worth more than an hour of effortful visualization. Because the quantum field reads coherence, not duration. When you are ready to return to ordinary waking consciousness, do so slowly. Carry the frequency with you. Let it be the first broadcast of your day. Let the warmth of your coherent field be the atmosphere you bring into every interaction, every action, every moment of your waking life. This is the practice, not a technique to perfect, a return to make every day, as many times as you remember, until the coherent frequency becomes your new baseline, until the radiance is no longer something you access. It is simply who you are. Your light is on. It has always been on. Now, you are learning to keep it on consciously. There is one more layer I want to show you. Because we have talked about what happens when your aura locks into the coherent frequency. And we have talked about the practices that establish that frequency as your baseline. But I want to talk about what happens in the world, in your relationships, your work, your creative life, the texture of your daily experience. When this shift has taken root, when the new baseline is established, when the frequency that reorganizes reality is no longer something you visit occasionally, but something you live from. The first thing you will notice is a change in what reaches you, not in what you reach for, in what arrives. The quality of the people who appear in your life begins to shift. Not dramatically, not all at once, but consistently in the direction of greater resonance. People whose fields are broadcasting at frequencies compatible with yours begin to find their way to you with an ease that seems disproportionate to any effort you made to find them. Opportunities that align with your authentic frequency begin to appear in your path, often through channels you couldn't have predicted or planned for, because they are not arriving through the logic of your straining mind. They are arriving through the quantum field's response to your coherent broadcast. This is not magical thinking. This is field mechanics. When your electromagnetic signature is clear and coherent, it is readable. The quantum field can respond to it precisely. The people and circumstances whose frequencies are compatible with yours can find you more easily because you are broadcasting a clear signal rather than static. You are, in the most literal sense, easier to reach. The second thing you will notice is a change in the quality of your actions. Not what you do, but how it feels to do it. Actions taken from the frequency of coherent radiance carry a different quality than actions taken from straining. They feel more natural, more aligned, less like pushing against resistance, and more like moving with a current that is already flowing in your direction. The effort is not necessarily less. Sometimes the work is just as demanding, but the quality of the effort changes. It becomes purposeful rather than desperate, engaged rather than anxious, alive rather than exhausted. This is because your actions are no longer carrying the electromagnetic signature of incompleteness. They are carrying the signature of your coherent field. And that signature opens doors in ways that the straining signal never could. Because the quantum field reads the broadcast behind the action, not just the action itself. The third thing you will notice, and this one is perhaps the most profound, is a change in your relationship to time. When you are broadcasting from the frequency of straining, time feels like an adversary, like something running out, like a measure of how far you are from where you want to be. Every day that passes without the desired outcome is another day of evidence that it isn't working, that you aren't doing enough, that the gap between where you are and where you want to be is permanent. When you are broadcasting from the frequency of coherent radiance, time becomes something different. It becomes the medium through which the quantum field's response to your signal unfolds. It becomes not an adversary, but an ally, because you are not waiting for something to happen. You are participating in a process that is already in motion. You can feel it moving. You can sense the field organizing around your signal. And the patience that comes from that felt sense of movement is not the patience of resignation. It is the patience of someone who has planted a seed and can feel the ground responding. The patience of a sun that doesn't strain to rise. It simply continues to be what it is, and the world turns toward it. This is the life that becomes available when your aura locks into the frequency that reorganizes reality. Not a life without challenge or difficulty, or the full spectrum of human experience. A life that is organized at its foundation around the coherent broadcast of your most authentic frequency. A life in which reality is not something that happens to you, but something that assembles around the signal you are radiating. A life in which your aura is not an afterthought or a spiritual accessory, but the primary instrument through which you create, protect, and navigate your experience. You are a radiant field of quantum energy. That is not a metaphor. That is the measurable, physical, electromagnetic reality of what you are. And the moment you claim that reality, not as a belief system to adopt, but as a lived, felt, embodied experience of your own field, everything changes. Because a conscious broadcast is infinitely more powerful than an unconscious one. And you are now conscious. There is a question I want to leave with you, and I want to invite you to sit with it, not as a mental exercise, but as a felt inquiry. I want you to bring it into your body, into your field, and notice what your aura does in response to it. The question is this: what would it feel like if you stopped trying to become luminous and simply allowed yourself to be what you already are? Not what would it look like, not what would it produce. What would it feel like in your body, in your field, in the electromagnetic broadcast your heart is generating right now? Because that feeling, whatever arises when you genuinely consider that question, that is the doorway. That is the entry point into the frequency we have been exploring. That is the 0 point of your own field, showing itself to you in the form of a felt sense rather than a concept. Some of you will feel a release when you sit with that question, a loosening, a warmth, a quality of coming home to something you have been away from for a long time. That release is your aura beginning to return to coherence. That warmth is your heart's electromagnetic field, organizing itself around a frequency of wholeness rather than striving. Some of you will feel resistance, a voice that says, "This is too simple. This can't be it. I need to do more. I need to earn this." That resistance is not the truth of your field. That resistance is the accumulated static of years of being told that your worth and your light must be earned, must be achieved, must be proved. It is not your frequency. It is interference with your frequency. And it can be released, not by fighting it, by returning again and again to the 0 point, by choosing the coherent frequency each time you notice the static, by practicing with patience and warmth the return to your own light. And some of you will feel both at once, the release and the resistance, the warmth and the doubt, the sense of recognition and the voice that says, "But what about?" This is the most honest place to be, because it is the most human place. And from here, the practice is simply to keep choosing, keep returning, keep feeling your field and noticing what it's broadcasting and making the gentle, consistent choice to bring it back to coherence. Every return matters. Every moment of choosing the coherent frequency over the static is a moment of building your new baseline. Every time you feel your field and consciously allow it to broadcast from the frequency of luminous certainty, you are doing the most powerful work available to you. Not because you are forcing reality to change, because you are changing your signal. And when the signal changes, reality must respond. That is not a spiritual belief. That is field mechanics. What you radiate, reality assembles around. Before we close, I want to speak to those of you who have been in this work for a long time, who have studied and practiced and tried and hoped and been disappointed and tried again, who came to this video carrying a history of effort that hasn't yet produced the results you were working toward. I see you. I want to say something to your energy field directly. You have not been doing it wrong. You have been doing it from the wrong frequency. And that is not a failure. It is information. The most valuable information you could have. Because now you know what frequency to return to. Now you know that the issue was never the effort or the sincerity of your desire, or the quality of your practice. The issue was the broadcast behind the practice, the signal underneath the technique. And that signal is not broken. It is not damaged. It is not depleted by the years of straining. It is simply waiting for you to stop covering it with the static of effort and allow it to radiate at its natural frequency. The light was never off. You were simply holding your hands over it. Take your hands away. That is the entire instruction. Take your hands away and feel what has been glowing underneath them this whole time. Your aura is extraordinary, not because you have done extraordinary things to it, because it is, by its nature, the most powerful, creative, and protective instrument you possess. Because it is, at its most fundamental level, a field of quantum potential that responds to consciousness with an immediacy and precision that no external effort can match. Because it is, at its most coherent, a broadcast that the quantum field cannot ignore, that reality must assemble around. You are not building toward radiance. You are uncovering it. You are not becoming powerful. You are remembering that you already are. You are not creating a new frequency. You are returning to the one that was always yours. And the moment your aura locks into that frequency, the moment the straining stops and the radiance begins, your entire reality reorganizes. Not because you forced it to, because you changed your signal. Because the quantum field read the new broadcast and responded with the only response it knows. Assembly, organization, the gathering of what matches the frequency you are radiating. This is your life. This is your field. This is your light. Now let me ask you something, and I want you to answer it in the community. Not just in your head, but out loud, in words. Because articulating your experience of your own field is itself a coherence practice. It brings the felt sense of your energy into language. And language is a form of electromagnetic broadcast. When you name what you are experiencing in your field, you deepen the signal. So tell me this: what is one moment in your life when you felt your aura broadcasting at its most coherent? One moment when you were so fully present, so genuinely alive, so completely yourself that the straining disappeared and something in you simply radiated. It might have been a conversation that felt effortless, a creative moment when the work seemed to do itself through you, a morning when you woke up and felt, without any particular reason, luminously certain a moment in nature when the boundary between you and the world became permeable, and you felt the field of everything. Tell me about that moment, because in naming it, you are calling it back. You are broadcasting its frequency again. You are reminding your aura of what it feels like to be at its most powerful. And that reminder is not just personal. It ripples into the field of everyone who reads it, because coherent fields entrain other fields. Your testimony of your own radiance is a gift to the shared field of everyone who is working to find their frequency. Your light matters, not just to you, to the field. There is an integration principle I want to leave you with, something to carry from this transmission into your daily life, into the texture of your ordinary moments, into the spaces between the practices and the intentions and the conscious broadcasts. The integration principle is this: radiance is not a state you achieve and then maintain. It is a direction you keep choosing. It is a return you keep making. It is a frequency you keep tuning to, not because you lose it. You never lose it. But because life, in its fullness, is constantly presenting you with invitations to broadcast from other frequencies, invitations to strain, invitations to resign, invitations to fragment your attention between the past and the future, and lose your presence in the present where your field is most powerful. Every one of these invitations is an opportunity, not an obstacle, an opportunity to choose again, to return again, to feel your field again and notice what it's broadcasting and bring it back gently and without self-judgment to the frequency of coherent radiance. This is the practice, not the formal practice of the threshold state, though that practice is powerful, and I encourage you to make it daily. The practice of ordinary moments, the practice of noticing in the middle of a difficult conversation that your field has contracted into straining, and choosing to breathe and open and return. The practice of feeling in the middle of a moment of doubt, the warmth of your heart center, and remembering that the light is on. The practice of carrying your field consciously through your day, not as an exhausting effort to maintain a state, but as a gentle, ongoing attention to what you are broadcasting. Because here is what becomes possible when that ongoing attention becomes natural, when the return to coherence becomes your default response to disruption, rather than a heroic effort you make occasionally. Your baseline shifts, not overnight, not dramatically, but consistently in the direction of greater radiance. The moments of straining become shorter. The returns to coherence become faster. The quality of what the quantum field assembles around you reflects, with increasing clarity and consistency, the frequency you are learning to inhabit. This is the long game of working with your aura, not the dramatic single moment of everything changing at once. The quiet, consistent, daily choosing of the coherent frequency. The daily return to the 0 point. The daily practice of feeling your field and noticing what it's radiating and bringing it with patience and warmth and the kind of self-compassion that is itself a coherence practice back to its most luminous state. And over time, not a long time, but real time, felt time, the time of a life that is genuinely changing, rather than a life that is waiting to change. The reality that assembles around you begins to reflect a new frequency, a frequency of ease and resonance and luminous certainty, a frequency that attracts what matches it and naturally releases what doesn't, a frequency that makes your actions more powerful, your relationships more alive, your creative work more genuine, your daily experience more infused with the quality of aliveness that you have always known was possible. This is what becomes available when your aura locks into the frequency that reorganizes reality. Not a perfect life, a coherent one, a life organized around the signal of who you actually are, broadcast clearly and consciously into a quantum field that cannot do anything other than respond. You are a radiant field of quantum energy. Your aura is active. Your light is conscious. Your signal is clear. And now you know what to do with it. If this transmission resonated with you, consider returning to it during a quiet moment, morning stillness before the day floods in, or that threshold just before sleep when your field is most receptive and the signal lands deepest. And if someone in your life is dimming without knowing why, share this with them. When you pass this to another person, you are not just sending a video. You are activating their awareness of their own field, creating a resonance between your aura and theirs, and contributing something real to the collective luminosity. Sharing is itself a coherence practice. Shine, not because you should, not because it will produce the right results, not because it is the correct manifestation technique. Shine because that is what you are. Shine because the light was never off. Shine because the 0 point of your own field is not emptiness. It is the most concentrated field of potential in existence, and it has been waiting patiently for you to stop covering it with the static of effort and allow it to do what it has always been designed to do: radiate, broadcast, illuminate. Welcome to your own light. Your aura knows. It has always known. And now, so do you. If you want to go even deeper into this work, your field is already calling you toward the next layer. Watch your quantum. Aura already knows what your mind is still trying to figure out, where we explore the intelligence that lives beneath conscious thought, the part of your broadcast that has been navigating toward your highest frequency all along, even in the moments when your mind couldn't see the way.